I'm gonna make a little introduction of myself. My name is Jesús Campo. I'm International Football Projects Strategic Manager of La Liga, and I'm in charge of coordinating football projects not only worldwide but as well in Spain, and that's one of the main reasons why we created La Liga Academy. I've been working in La Liga since 2016. This is my 8th season, so it's been a while, you know. I'm gonna explain a little bit to you why we have this department in La Liga, what we do, which kind of projects we do, and as well, how do we work with the clubs, okay, in La Liga. So La Liga Academy is as we see here, our claim is the power of our grassroots football. The new claim of La Liga is the power of our football, but we make the emphasis in grassroots football in this case because we only work with grassroots and academy players. Okay. So making a little of introduction of the different projects that we are going to explain a little bit. In the introduction of La Liga Academy, I'm going to explain a little bit where we came from and where we are right now, the projects that we have worldwide, the projects that we are currently having in Spain, and how do we work with La Liga clubs, as I just told you, okay? So basically, La Liga Academy is La Liga global initiative to promote grassroots football, not only in Spain, but around the world. It seems that it's a great claim. It's great with our players there, with great facilities, but we must emphasize on 3 words. But for us, is support and promote grassroots football. That's the key for us. Okay, why? Because why is La Liga developing football projects worldwide? Why is doing football projects in Spain? La Liga is in charge of organizing football projects, organizing the competition. La Liga is in charge of developing, as Jesús has explained, the different clubs, but we are in charge of developing as well the players and the coaches worldwide. Okay, so basically, let's go backward, okay? It was in 2014 with Mr. Javier Tebas arrived to the presidency. There was a lack of everything in La Liga, you know, as Angel has explained, a lot of debts and so on. And as well, there was a lack of internationalization strategy for the clubs, okay, in terms of the brand and so on. That's why in 2015 was created the Football Projects Department, all focused and all formed by UEFA Pro coaches, from a technical side, okay, with the main mission and vision of disseminating La Liga brand worldwide, okay, as making different projects with different stakeholders just to make a little disseminating and being present in the different countries, okay. Right after the La Liga Global Network with Esteban or Jesús was created, and to keep going with this mission, okay. So through all these years, we have been working with more than 800 coaches from La Liga. We have formed more than 25,000 coaches. We train more than 190,000 players, and we carry out more than 450 projects in more than 49 countries. Okay, so the figures are impressive. And we carry on doing this. Okay, so basically, why La Liga Academy was created? Okay, let's focus as well in 2020 more or less with COVID and so on. The football projects department, the technical department, was making huge projects, but with no clear strategy. Okay? I mean, dealing with federations, like, for example, with the Chinese government, with the Chinese Football Association, including football coaches in the different educative system in China, doing MOUs with leagues, with federations, and so on. However, there was not like a clear portfolio as well of products with a clear strategy of what to do. What's the storytelling here? Okay, that's why La Liga Academy was created, focusing on strategy, business, and as well developing of players and coaches. That's why in La Liga Academy we work with the strategy department that I'm part from, and as well the technical side. Okay, that is led by Juan Florit, that is the head of football of La Liga, that is in charge of the vertical of grassroots in La Liga and Pulse. Okay, so basically La Liga Academy is, our mission is to bring the knowledge that we have gained through all the years to the different players and coaches worldwide. Okay, that's our mission. And what are the main objectives of La Liga Academy? Okay, first of all, I will split the objectives in three main pillars. For example, for saying that, obviously the main and the original objective was disseminate our brand, developing our training and developing our knowledge worldwide, but as well, and that's the key, to promote grassroots football in Spain. Okay, that's something important. Why? Because in all the projects that we did in the past worldwide, players, coaches demanded us the possibility of come over to Spain to live the experience of learning about us in Spain. Okay, to have like an experience in a completely different competitive context, like having a new educative experience with our clubs. Okay, so that's why we created these different projects that we are going to mention right after in a new brand facilities in collaboration with the NBA. Okay, so that's the main reason. And finally, that for us is everything, is helping La Liga clubs. Okay, why? Because La Liga clubs, basically because we are working for the clubs. I mean, my boss is the president of Sevilla, my boss is the president of Osasuna, and the president of Football Club Barcelona right now. Why? Because we work for them, and the ultimate objective for us is helping the clubs to expand their internationalization brand, to increase their revenue streams, and as well to help develop their academy structures in so many ways. Okay? So, moving forward, it's what makes us different, and this is the key of everything. Okay, my teammates get love with me basically because with all the partners that I say the same. I'm like a robot, you know. We don't want to make football projects just for putting our IP brand. I mean, we don't want to make a collaboration with the National Federation of Bulgaria, for example, just for, okay, Jesús is handling hand with the president, with an agreement and so on. No, we have a commitment with the future of the players of some country. We have a commitment of disseminating our knowledge in all the projects that we do. I hate, being completely honest and transparent, we are here like in a family, I know, I guess. So I hate the way of some teams, some international teams that go, I don't know, to Thailand to get to this technification camp, and you will join our team in the future, and you will be the next star of, I don't know, some team from England, I mean. So what makes us different is that we have created our own training methodology. And this is the key of everything, okay? The technical department, the technical department of La Liga Academy, more or less 8 years ago, when everything started, they created our own training methodology because we consider that in every single context that we were going to work, we needed to create our methodology that could be adaptable for every single kind of context that we were going to work in. Okay, so for us, the player is everything. Okay, for us, the player must be the center of the development of everything from an holistical point of view. This is quite a technical word, okay, but it's all based on there are some different kind of elements, some different kind of pillars that are around the player and must be trained in order to develop the player at his or her best level, okay? So we established three different kind of stages. The first one is initiation, second one is development, and third one is performance, all based on the different ages of the player. And the most important thing is, as I mentioned, the development, the LALIGA methodology is the vehicle for the development of the player, but there are four main areas that we believe that makes a huge influence on the development of the player, okay? That is the technical coordination area, the tactical, the conditional, and the psychological socio-affective. Why? Because depending on the different ages, okay, initiation, development, and the performance, we will focus more on one of these four areas. We consider that in a 6 years old player, for example, must improve more, in this case, in the technical coordination area, because he's getting used to how to deal with the ball, how to get used to make good coordination in some point, okay? However, if we focus more in the performance area, they will focus more on the conditional area, so it's effective as well, and tactical in terms of how to deal with the different spaces in the football pitch. Okay, so this is the most, in this case, the most technical side of my presentation as in some point, because right now we have different 5 pillars in which we believe and that our products are hold. Okay, so basically we work with in advisory and consultancy projects, for example, with clubs, with leagues, with federations. Recently we signed an agreement with Alianza de Lima from Peru. We are going to explain a little bit what's the flow of how do we work every single project. The coaching education for us is essential. Maybe one of your questions is, what do you think that is the key for developing a great structure for our academy and so on? For us, coaching education is everything, because based on the knowledge of the coaches, it will be reflected on the players, is key. The player development with all the projects that we have, and obviously how do we work with clubs and how do we work with La Liga clubs and academies in the different projects, as I mentioned, with the different objectives that we established before, okay? And finally, the new technologies, okay? We have developed our own software in order to check, in order to control the different aspects of the daily basis of an academy from a technical point of view that I'm going to explain a little bit later, okay? So, this is like a menu, as I mentioned always. Someday I want pizza, someday I want spaghetti, someday I want meat. In this case, we don't see this as a menu. We see this as a different projects that we have, the different programs that we have, but everything can be mixed. Why? Because for us, every single project is unique. For us, every single project is completely personalized. Why? Because we try to fulfill the needs and we try to fulfill the objectives of the teams, clubs, leagues, federation, private partners, academies that are trying to develop, try to evolve in some ways, okay? So we have projects worldwide, we have projects in Spain, okay? As I mentioned, the coaching education, we have the different levels, not official, as you know, because there is the UEFA official levels, but we have level 1, level 2, and level 3 as complementary levels with a theoretical part, with a practical part on ground. And for us, this is something essential as well. Every single of these projects has our own requirements, okay? Our quality standards are huge in terms of the number of players of every single project, the number of coaches that must attend to a class, from a logistical point of view, from a technical point of view, from the facilities, and it's all based from our methodology. Okay, in my case with my technical teammates, we can be here like 3 hours explaining our methodology, our requirements, and so on. But it will be huge and impressive. Okay, but in terms of the coaching education, for us, one of the most important projects is La Liga Immersion Week. What's La Liga Immersion Week? Is a project in which different coaches from different leagues or different clubs come over to Spain to live an experience and an educational experience from La Liga in terms of La Liga methodology, and we invite different clubs in order to give as well their insights for the player, for the coaches. Okay, as well the player development that we have programs with La Liga academies worldwide, the football schools, the international camps, and obviously the projects that we have in Madrid. Okay, we are going to see slightly see them. Okay, all the projects that we have in worldwide. Currently, but for example, different partners that we work with. Putting an example, government. Okay, right now we are dealing with the government of Singapore. We have currently an agreement with the government of Singapore in order to introduce La Liga coaches in their educational system. Okay, and to try to as well to make like a consultancy project, because they want to boost in somehow the football in Singapore. They have the the 2040 World Cup. They want to reach the World Cup, so they have in mind this huge project. For example, with leagues, we have different agreements with MOUs. One of the best example would be the K-League of South Korea. Okay, we have a great relationship with them, and we will work with them not only from a football projects point of view, but as well going to Korea to give them some kind of lessons for economic control, and focusing on the football projects point of view. They came over to Spain to have a coaching immersion week with us, different training stages of different clubs. So it's huge, the different projects that we do with the South Korea Federation. Okay, so how do we work the different projects? Okay, as I mentioned before, for us every project is unique. Every project is tailor-made. We always said, okay, what's the cost of this project? Okay, we don't have fixed cost for any kind of project, because it will depend on the different project. Okay, and it will depend on the partner and so many circumstances. Okay, so first of all, we start with different first conversations. Okay, let's put an example with with a team from here, from Sofia. Okay. Okay, we analyze and we make this first conversation of what are your needs. Okay, what do you think that could be your objectives to reach in terms of developing coaches or developing players? Okay, so right after, we as La Liga with our technical department, we make an internal analysis of, okay, that's the main issue, the main objectives this team could have, and which objectives this team could have as well, because sometimes the partner is not quite used to or is not realistic in terms of the reality of their objectives. Sometimes we just need to, okay, let's start for making something smaller. Let's start to building the house from the edge and not from the roof. Okay, so right after the technical department with us, we prepare every single kind of project to meet the different objectives and needs of the team. Okay, right after the presentation of this sports project to the partner, and if everything goes well, the agreement reached for the sports project and execution of the sports project worldwide. Okay, so what's our storytelling? Okay, and that's the main reason of why LALIGA Academy was created. Okay, first of all, keeping creating LALIGA international projects. So why? Why? To try to develop and try to disseminate our knowledge and to share the knowledge with the different projects on the different partners. And that second phase, to give the opportunity of the different partners to come over to Spain to live this experience, to educational experience. And finally, as well, to creating values for LALIGA clubs. And this is something essential for us. This is the key of everything, like helping creating different revenue streams for them, involving these clubs in all the projects that we do worldwide, and as well, obviously, to try to help them to develop their structures in terms of the academy. Okay, so basically, the projects that we have worldwide, I'm not going to be really deep here in this point. I'm going to explain briefly and put some different case studies. Okay, in terms of, we have long-term projects and short-term projects. Okay, in terms of the coaching education projects, as I mentioned before, we have been working with different entities like MLS, Eredivisie, the first division of Sweden, Chinese Super League, the K-League, obviously. So our mission, as I told you, is to share our methodology. But for us, one of the key projects for us is the consultancy projects that we do. Okay, for us, some two main case studies that we can see in the flow that I just mentioned. Okay, put in an example of Alianza Lima or the Iraq Football Federation. Okay, Alianza Lima is one of the biggest clubs, in Peru and one of the biggest in South America. So they have a lack of a clear training methodology. They have a lack of a clear structure in their academy. Okay, so basically, with our delegate there, with Rodri in Peru, we started the conversations to fix which kind of needs they may need. Okay, methodology. Okay, maybe coaching for our local coaches. Okay, so basically, we started to make the flow to reach an agreement and to propose this kind of project for them. Right after, we will see in the end, because there is a club involved in all this project, and it's so interesting the different projects that we have that we are carrying out with them. Okay, in terms of La Liga with Iraq Football Federation, it's a huge project. It's a huge project in which the Ministry of Sports of Iraq want to change everything. Want to change the structure of the football. They, as you know, Iraq has been a really damaged country because of war, and they want to start growing. Okay, this project was based as well because the national coach of Iraq is from Spain, Jesús, and they performed very well in the Asian Cup. So basically, the Alliance aims to transform Iraqi football in so many ways. Having a project manager on ground, having a technical director on ground of La Liga, including La Liga coaches in the system of Iraq schools, giving lessons, giving educational coaching, education for local coaches. It's huge. Okay, so that's some of our main examples. Okay. Something important for us and something essential for us is that we, as I mentioned before, is that we don't want just to have our academy in Dubai, our academy in New York, and so on, just to forget about everything and forget about the kids and the development. No. We have a technical director always on ground. We have a technical director of La Liga always in the country in order to fulfill and in order to give, to make sure that La Liga methodology is well applied in the academy, okay? And obviously to give coaching, education, lessons for the coaches, okay? We have created as well a coaching pathway Okay, you may see the project of schools. The academy is more like a typical club structure. Okay, however, in the schools it's more from a social point of view. So in India we have 40 different units of schools, and you may see how the local coaches from India has started to develop using La Liga Academy Manager from scratch, till using a completely developed software and how to design the different tasks, different microcycle, monthly cycle, and so on for the different players that we have in La Liga schools India. Okay, so one of the case studies for us is the academy that we have in Dubai with more than 1,000 players. Okay, so in terms of the short-term projects, we mentioned here, for example, the international camps and the scouting projects. However, it can be completely mixed. Why? Because we adapt ourselves to the needs of the partner, as I mentioned before. And for example, could be an option that maybe a club, and this is a real case, a club in Asia could be interested on making recruitment on the different players in a pre-established championship, for example, and they hire our services in order to select the different players, for example, in the National Cup of Thailand. Okay, so these more or less are the services that we can provide this. Okay, but here's the key as well. The key is that, as I said before, there is a connection between the technical department of La Liga. There is a connection with the coaches that we have worldwide, with the technical directors, and in Spain as well, and La Liga Academy software manager. Okay, behind all the coaches that we have worldwide, we have a completely team in order to make sure that they are applying well La Liga methodology. That's why we, as I mentioned before, this is the commitment that we have with the projects that we do worldwide. The commitment that we have a team behind all the coaches, behind all the projects, making sure that La Liga methodology is well applied and the players and the coaches are well developed. Okay, that's why for us that's the key. Okay, so moving forward. Okay, as I mentioned before, the projects that we have in Spain are based, most of them, because the players and the coaches want to live the experience here in Madrid. Okay, that's why we joined the ESC La Liga and MBA complex. Okay, this complex is the hub. This complex is like the main facilities of La Liga in Madrid. It's in Villaviciosa, more or less being optimistic, taking into consideration the traffic jams of Madrid from the 20 minutes from the center of Madrid. It's in a private neighborhood called Urbanización El Bosque, and it's more or less like a unique complex around the world. Why? Because this complex is like, I always said that has everything that some player want to develop themselves in so many different ways. Okay, with 2 football fields, international school inside the complex. That's the key for everything. Residency is probably brand new. It was opened in 2022, and this is where all the projects of La Liga in Spain are carried out. Obviously, we collaborate with the different clubs, not only in Madrid. We as well do different projects in different parts of Spain, but always as a center of as Madrid as the center of everything. Okay, so. I lead complex, as I mentioned. This is like an Olympic villa, okay, for us. The main added value is that everything is inside for any kind of club, league, federation, or any kind of academy, any kind of individual player, because we have projects for individuals and we have projects for groups, okay? And more or less, as you can see here, there is a residency for more than 450 residents, with double rooms, individual rooms, 2 football fields, in this case 2 from artificial grass, with FIFA standards, some kind of different football fields with 5-a-side football pitch, with common areas as well, with the NBA pavilion that is impressive. This is the second biggest NBA basketball pavilion in Europe dedicated for training. Okay, the first one is in Valencia. And obviously, for us, the most important is the international school that we have inside the complex. Okay, you can see here more or less some kind of video with pictures of the football fields, and as well from the residency. Okay, the accommodation with double rooms, individual rooms as well. So basically, as you can see here, we have a personal desk. So everything is focused. This is a football residency. This is a sports residency. Everything is focused on not only in the football development, but as well the educational development. That's why we have an international school inside the complex that for us is everything. Okay, we will see which kind of projects that we have, but I'm going to explain it in advance that we have an annual program. Okay, for players from worldwide. Okay, so for us, developing them from a football point of view, but as well from an educational point of view, is everything. Okay. To our artificial grass fields, we have developed tournaments there. In December of last year, CONMEBOL, we have a tournament with CONMEBOL Evolución. There is the South American Confederation, in which different teams from South America came over to Spain to have a tournament against our clubs. Okay, our intention is to have different small tournaments as well there, in order to make like a huge competitive context to La Liga clubs in Madrid, and as well from outside Madrid. And the sport facilities that we have a personal clinic today. In fact, today Borja Iglesias, I don't know if you know who is right now player from Bayer Leverkusen, is in the complex. Working with our physio there in the clinic and in the gym, the physiotherapy inside the complex, video analysis room, and swimming pool. Okay, so what do we do in the facilities? I'm going to focus in the first one, but as well, there is a place from a commercial point of view as well. There is a place for activations with the different partners that we have, like Puma. Every single year, the new ball of Puma, the shooting, is done there in our facilities. For example, one day we knew in advance that Carvajal, the player of Madrid, he was going to sign by Puma, because the shooting of the boots of Carvajal was done in the complex with Microsoft, with EA Sports. I'm going to explain the project that we have with EA Sports there, because EA Sports is great. Focus on grassroots football, as well with recordings for series, for commercials. We are dealing right now with with a shoe company that want to make the commercial there in the facilities, and as well other events like team buildings. It's a facility in which we are working as well with the infrastructures department of LALIGA and Palms Bet in order to explore a little bit from a commercial point of view the complex. Okay, so I'm going to show you in a video, okay, and then I will explain a little bit to you.
The International Academy will train the talents of tomorrow. Live like a professional player. Register at LALIGAacademy.com. Prepare yourself for the future.
Okay. This is one of the most important projects for us in Spain. That is the academy that we have in Madrid. Maybe in Europe we are not quite used to this concept that the American have in terms of this student-athlete concept. Okay, so basically LALIGA Academy is a project in which players from 13 till 17 years old came over to Spain to live the experience of studying with us, of learning how to develop themselves in terms of football with us, to train and to compete with us. Okay. Obviously, it's in an international academy. We have boys team and women's team. However, the women's team, I'm going to explain a little bit because it's slightly different. Okay, so this is an annual program, a 10-month program. Okay, in which trainings in the morning, attending to the class, 6 training per day, 6 trains per week. As you know, due to FIFA regulations, Article 19, minors from 18 years old that come over from abroad cannot play official competitions. Okay, and that's the main issue that we face here. Okay, we have right now 76 players from 43 different nationalities. So it's huge, So basically, what we do is that these teams cannot play official competitions, and we have designed like a competitive contest with them in which they play friendly matches every single Thursday, and then they do different travels all around Spain to live different competitive experience against La Liga clubs. Okay. You may see from a technical point of view, they have head coach, assistant coach, they have analyst, they have a strength coach, they have physios. It's like a professional atmosphere, okay? Giving all the resources to these players to develop themselves to their high performance. I'm anticipating for your question. We are not looking here for the new Messi. We are not looking for players for our La Liga clubs. We know, and the percentage in Spain is is less than 1% that the final players are reaching professionalism. We are here like a boarding school in which the player came over to Spain to live the experience of training with us and having a huge education. What's the next step for them? Okay, we have a program that I'm going to explain later that is based on a scholarship for the USA universities. That could be an option, and as well giving the best tools for them. For example, last year that it was the first year of this program, we have 7 graduates and 5 of them are playing the Division 1 NCAA in the USA. Okay, so for us the next step is everything, because it's the key for the development of these players. As you see here, we have a women's team, okay? And this is something really interesting, because this women's team is all based on scholarships. Why? This women's team is a high performance team, all based on players from 15, 16 years old that came over from different countries, from the national teams, and came over from the high performance teams in their countries. Okay, we have the center back of the national team from U17 from Nigeria, Tanzania, Zambia, Chile. Right now we have 2 players playing the under 17 South American tournament. So we offer them a full scholarship in collaboration with one partner for giving them the possibility of developing themselves 1 year here with us, 1 year, 2 years, whatever they want. So basically, this is more we can see this from a social point of view, because all these players you must see the player, the midfielder of Tanzania is huge, the way she plays. And it's more focused on trying to help them to look for a solution in some ways. But on the other hand, we have the goalkeeper from Santos and from the national team of Brazil. Right now, we are looking for the different stakeholders. We are looking for different clubs, different leagues. For example, on Saturday, I was with the league from Mexico, and they are quite interested in different clubs to send different girls in order to develop the girls 1 year with us, and then go back to the country with a huge level on an even more level. Okay. So as well, as I mentioned, we are right now looking for stakeholders in order to give these kind of scholarships. Okay, and it's a full scholarship. It's all included. The playing, the football program, the educational program, trips. The main difference between the academy and the women's team is that the women's team are doing trips more or less 1 per month, more or less, and going to different places all around Spain, playing against La Liga Youth Academy women's team. Okay, in fact, the women's team won the CONMEBOL Evolution team against Sao Paulo, Flamengo, Vélez Sarsfield, Barcelona, Guayaquil, so top teams in South America. Okay. Okay, LALIGA Camps. LALIGA Camps is the summer program that we have in La Liga. It's quite common, and it's a project that is quite common here in Spain. What we are dealing with is with different governments, with different different companies or different non-profitable organizations to send different players to our summer camps in order to live this exchange experience, summer exchange experience. Okay, it's all focused in football, and it's not focused on the typical camps in terms of language and so on. Okay, and I'm going to explain a little bit to you with a video. And then I will go back. Okay. Okay, so basically, La Liga training stage is the high performance stage that we organize to every single kind of league club federation that may want to have this competitive experience here in Madrid with us. Okay, from senior, we can include seniors. We have been dealing with national teams from under 21 as well, but it's focused on federation clubs, leagues, academy groups that want to have this competitive experience with us, and we organize everything, not only from a recreational point of view, as you saw in the video, but as well to giving this high performance educational context to the players, however, and to the coaches as well. However, for us, we make a personalized and tailor-made project in order to fulfill the needs. Okay, maybe 2 months ago, we had the Brentford from the under 18 team, sorry. And they want to make to have this high performance experience. Okay, the video that you just have said is about the Mahar Academy. That is a high performance academy that the government from Saudi Arabia has in Riyadh. So basically, they have these high performance sessions, training sessions with our coaches, training sessions as well for their coaches as well, for the players, having friendly matches. So we are more than open to organize as well different tournaments in which we include different teams from all over the world. Okay, Brentford, for example, is so interested on coming back to with us to playing against different teams from the Nordics, from Europe. Why? Because here we can offer them the possibility of having a competitive context that maybe they don't have in England, or maybe they don't have in other countries that where they come from. Okay. So some of the teams that has recently come, the team from CONMEBOL, from Africa with AFA in Angola, Mahar Academy, Brentford, the teams of the K-League, in 6 teams in the K-League in 2 years. Okay, the national team of Thailand, national team of China, national team of Singapore. This in 2 years. Okay, so this is a project that we are focusing a lot. And this is a project in which we are so proud of, okay? And we will keep pushing, okay? Okay, so in somehow, how do we work with LALIGA clubs? Okay, all these projects are run and are led by our technical side, our technical department. But for us, there are like three main pillars. Okay, LALIGA club academy and coaches, how to help the players, the coaches of LALIGA clubs academy to develop. As well, the development of LALIGA clubs structures. The technical department has a huge project called Youth Academies Development Plan that is well related with what Jesús just said, just explained about LALIGA Impulso and the grassroots vertical. And finally, how do we help LALIGA clubs to the strategy, internalization, projection, new revenue streams, okay? Because we always try to include our clubs in all projects that we do worldwide, okay? That's for us the key, okay? So based on that, we have a LALIGA annual academies meeting in which this is a meeting exclusive for the professionals of the different clubs, in which they exchange different knowledge, exchange different initiatives and different projects that they are doing in order to develop players in terms of individual performance point of view, in terms of projects to deal with the psychological point of view of the players, and so on. Okay, and it's annual. Okay, and in the past there was a project called the LALIGA Training Hub, as well for the LALIGA professionals, but it's more from an executive point of view. Okay, and it was monthly, more or less, or twice per year. Okay. And LALIGA Academy Manager, okay? This is huge, and this is something really, really important for LALIGA. Why? Because in the market, when we started doing football projects worldwide, we have like a huge tool, a huge software, trying to control LALIGA methodology and well applied in the different countries, okay? But we consider that this kind of tools cannot adapt to the different contexts that we were dealing with. India, UK, Spain, USA, the different contexts, the different kind of players, the different kind of facilities, it was huge, okay? So, and different cultures, that is something important. That's why we created our own software in-house that is a management platform to make sure that there is a centralization of information of how the players from LALIGA projects are developed themselves, to unify the methodology, to have a connection with the coaches, as we just saw in the graphic before, and centralize all the supervision to have a direct communication with the coaches. Okay, and right now, some of the teams of LALIGA are currently using this software for the daily basis in their academies. Okay, so that's the main reason of this project as well, to give the clubs this kind of tools. Okay, it's well related with LALIGA Impulso. How do we help as well from a technical point of view the club's development structure? Okay, the technical side design one plan for optimization, the development of the academies. Okay, it's a 10 years plan for the optimization of the academies of LALIGA, just to maintain them in the top. Okay, as we see some figures, LALIGA is the top one league with more homegrown players playing right now in the first division. With the most minutes per young player in the league, with more homegrown players currently player in the first squad. So we have a great development of the players, but we must create a project to make a sustainable growth a long time. Okay, so it's a 10-year plan that is related with the vertical of grassroots right now. And based on that, the same as Jesús has explained, that they divide the clubs in different groups, The technical department divide the clubs in different groups, and based on the different groups, they establish different objectives based on 5 pillars. 5 pillars that we believe that are the essential ones to develop a proper academy. Okay, so as you said, maybe one team in internationalization, they are in the group 2, for example, but maybe they are not focused so much in the academy. Okay, so maybe in the academy they are in group 3. Okay, so based on that, they establish different objectives, and there are different travels, different trips, different visits to the different clubs in order to fulfill that maybe and to control that they are achieving the objectives and so on. Okay, and this is related with planning also, and based on the objectives, they take money. They take the money from CBC. Okay, so from us, the 5 different pillars. Okay. The first one is structure and development of professional. It's related with the professionalism and the human resources in the different clubs, academic clubs of La Liga. Okay, the number of full-time coaches, the number of full-time specific coaches, the number of internal training that they have these coaches. Okay. The women's football, okay, there has been a huge increase, more or less from the 32% to the 54% in 1 year of the full-time coaches in the different clubs. So right now, the clubs are focusing more on having full-time coaches because the service that they provide to the players are better. Okay. The second one is the infrastructures, that is related obviously with Impulso, with the vertical of infrastructures and resources as well from a technological point of view, as Angel has just explained, Esteban has just explained, in terms of the technology in training, how to centralize all the data of the training sessions and for the players on ground. Obviously, more than 30, it was more than 32 clubs of La Liga are currently doing different modification in the infrastructures of the academies. So it's well related with Impulso and the centralization of that, as I mentioned. Okay. The training model transfer to competition is more related with the philosophy, the methodology that the different clubs has. Okay, and it's all based mostly of all the teams of La Liga has their own training methodology. Okay, it's more focused on as well of how many initiatives are the teams doing for the individual processes of the players. We believe in our methodology that the individual training of all the coaches, all the players and coaches is everything. Okay. The fourth is the integral attention to the player is more related with the psychological point of view, the mental health. There is more than 47% of the clubs in La Liga has their own psychological department, okay? And more than 700% of the players has in La Liga class, academic class, has higher level of education, okay? So there are one of the main objectives is which are your initiatives just to make sure that these players are going to carry on with a higher education somehow, okay? And at least but not last, the development and transfer to professional football. These are the initiatives that try to retain the talent in Spain, okay? We saw different cases in which different young players go to England, go to Germany because of wages, because of the different projects. So it's all based on the academy projects, all based in the academy players and so on. Okay. And finally, that we have, this is La Liga Pro Player. This is a project that we offer to La Liga youth academy players, trying to reach the American dream, in which we consider that not all the players, and it's pretty obvious, are going to reach the professionalism. And that's why we offer the possibility for them to try to reach a scholarship in the best universities in the USA, a full scholarship for playing soccer there, and as well in the same time that they are studying. Okay, so we offer them the possibility of having a big showcase with different scouts from different universities from North America, and give them the possibility of being scouted. Okay, so we organize a huge showcase in our facilities, and in order to be scouted these players. Okay. So finally, I'm going to go back and how do we include, in this case, Celta de Vigo in this project, also that is Alianza de Lima. Alianza de Lima, as I mentioned, told us that they have the need of creation and methodology, they need the education of the coaches, the professionalization of the academy team. So that's why we decided to create a project for them, having a La Liga technical director in Peru. And obviously, and that's the main thing, we involved Celta de Vigo in this project, okay? Celta de Vigo, and here, Celta de Vigo, one of the main, in this case, key markets for them is North America, but as well in somehow Mexico and South America, and that's why, based on their methodology, based on their experience, we involve them in the project, making different trips to Peru, and in this case, it generates a revenue for and an income for Celta de Vigo. Okay, so that's one of the main examples. Okay, so I think that's all. That was the final slide. Thank you very much, everyone for attending. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.